This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. Porsche could have a new leader soon. The automaker is in talks with its current CEO, Oliver Blume, about an early termination. Blume has been Porsche's CEO for a decade and kept his position after being named CEO of the Volkswagen Group in 2022. But investors aren't happy with his dual role, and with the luxury car maker struggling financially, they want to see him replaced. The board of Porsche even went to the lengths of saying that Michael Leiters is available as a possible successor. Leiters previously worked at Porsche until 2013. He then became chief technical officer at Ferrari for 8 years before being hired as CEO of McLaren. But while Blume will likely be replaced at Porsche, he will continue to be CEO of the VW Group. Oh no, here we go again. The auto industry is about to get hit with another chip shortage. And it's all got to do with a Chinese company called Wingtech Technology that bought a Dutch chip maker called Nexperia. The Trump administration warned the Netherlands that Nexperia could get blacklisted because its Chinese ownership posed national security problems for Europe. So the Dutch stepped in and took control of the company. For now, Nexperia is not making chips in the Netherlands, and it has stopped exporting them from China. And here's the problem. Nexperia makes about 40% of the transistors and diodes that go into automotive chips. And while automakers and suppliers are scrambling to find alternative sources, this has blown a big hole in their supply chains. European automakers are negotiating with the Chinese to at least export chips out of China, but it looks like this is going to start shutting down assembly lines before this month is over. Meanwhile, in the U.S., automakers have been hit with $10.6 billion in tariffs, and that's just on the tariffs for vehicles and components coming in from Mexico and Canada, which were enacted in April. So, on an annualized basis, that suggests the bill would come to about $25 billion. And it doesn't include the tariffs on steel, aluminum, and other commodities. These numbers were calculated by the Anderson Economic Group, which points out there is no way that automakers can absorb these costs without raising prices. So far, automakers have resorted to eliminating incentives and raising destination charges. We think they don't want to have the Trump administration attacking them for raising MSRPs. But with their bottom lines getting bashed in, it's only a matter of time before consumers will start paying the price of these tariffs.
Developing today's vehicles, issues can happen in an instant. What good is knowing your problems without the data to solve them? Meet Wireless Neovi Cloud, your secure off-the-shelf solution, empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless Neovi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless Neovi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Stellantis is partnering with Chinese autonomous vehicle company Pony.ai to test Level 4 AVs in Europe. Pony.ai's technology will be integrated into Peugeot e-Traveler electric vans, which will first be deployed in Luxembourg in the coming months and then roll out to more cities in Europe in 2026. The test will focus on validating safety, performance, and meeting local regulations. The companies say the vans are ideal for autonomy because their size, flexibility, total cost of ownership, and efficiency allows them to be used for different applications, from a compact robotaxi to a vehicle that can seat up to 8 passengers. And in other autonomous vehicle news, Waymo is partnering with food delivery company DoorDash to deliver food in its self-driving cars. The service will begin in the coming months in Phoenix and will initially deliver orders from DashMart, which is DoorDash's convenience, grocery, and retail stores. The companies plan to add more local merchants over time, but they need to be located within Waymo's 315 square mile service area in Phoenix. DoorDash customers that are interested in the service just have to opt into autonomous delivery when checking out, and once the delivery arrives, the customer can open the trunk with the DoorDash app. Solid-state batteries could represent the next big breakthrough in battery tech, and China Central Television is making some pretty bold claims about the potential of 3 new approaches to improving how these batteries perform. While solid-state batteries offer a number of benefits, long-term durability without slowing down the transfer of ions within the battery is still an issue. That's the main focus of these new methods, which I don't think I could do a good job of summarizing here, so we'll provide a link. China Central Television claims that a 100 kilogram or 220 pound solid-state battery pack without these improvements would provide about 500 kilometers or 310 miles of range. But with them, it could more than double that number. According to an AI search, a 220 pound battery would only be as big as 25 kilowatt hours. So to get over 1,000 kilometers of range would be extremely impressive. Several OEMs plan to have fully solid-state batteries out in the next 2 to 3 years. However, these new methods being developed in China here sound like they're still in the very early testing stages, so they may not be featured in those first-gen versions. Magna has developed an intriguingly flexible powertrain that seems to do it all. You can run it on just internal combustion power or purely on battery power, or run it as a parallel hybrid or as a series hybrid, and it's all in one package. Magna calls it Intelligent Command. They took a 7-speed DCT, removed 2 gears, and replaced them with a 120 kilowatt motor. That's about 156 horsepower. Then they set it up so the electric motor can send power through the shaft with the 2nd and 4th gears, while the IC engine sends power through the shaft with the 1st, 3rd, and 5th gears. And here's the crazy thing. Both the electric motor and IC engine can send power through those shafts at the same time, or they can do it individually. And then, just for good measure, Magna added a 160 kilowatt motor on the rear axle with 2 clutches to the rear wheels so they can do torque vectoring for better cornering. It sounds pretty complicated, and it is, but we also got to test the Intelligent system in a Range Rover, and it drove beautifully. We found it to be absolutely seamless. The 400-volt system is quite efficient too. With 21.5 kilowatt hours of usable battery, it can deliver a 110-kilometer EV driving range, or about 68 miles. Magna is showing the system to automakers and thinks it could be in production in about 3 years. Cadillac is trimming its sedan lineup. Production of the CT4 at GM's Lansing Grand River plant will end in June, although that does mean new models will continue to be sold until they're cleared out of inventory. That plant also makes the Cadillac CT5 sedan, but production of the current model will continue until late 2026, and it's supposed to get a next-gen version as well. That new model will still be built in Lansing Grand River, and it could come out sometime in 2028. But that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for making Autoline a part of your day, and I hope that you have a great weekend.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. CSP, the composites solution partner. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And thanks to the following YouTube and Patreon members.
At CSP, we work with OEM engineers across the country on their journeys to lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly vehicles. Learn more at thecsp.com.
Performance that shines, even in the rain. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza tires, improved grip in wet conditions.
Discover more than 300 best-in-class automotive solution providers this fall at Automotive Testing Expo and Automotive Interiors Expo North America. You'll see solutions for data acquisition, durability testing, electric and hybrid powertrain testing, ADAS testing, and more at Automotive Testing Expo. While at Automotive Interiors Expo, you'll see the latest in materials and coatings, smart textiles, ambient lighting, HMIs, and more. Join us from October 21st to 23rd at the Suburban Collection Showplace, Novi, Michigan.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.